Hi everyone, thanks for joining for another video. This past week I celebrated a wedding anniversary with my husband, and to get ready for our date night out I put together a slightly more glammed up look using the Sigma Enchanted mini palette and the 3 brushes that come together as a set from the Kelly Gooch Favorites kit. So if you want to see the look that I created for my anniversary date night, please keep watching and be sure to subscribe for more videos in the future. Okay, so I zoomed in a little bit, so hopefully you can see more detail of what I'm doing as I go through this look. I already primed my face and my eyelids using the Rare Beauty Face Primer, the Selena Gomez Beauty line. This is just the mini size. And then I primed my eyelids using the Fenty Beauty Eyelid Primer, also a mini size. I'm a big fan of minis. It's a great way to test out a product with spending a little bit less money, and honestly, minis last me a long time, so it's a good value for the money in my opinion. But the first thing I'm going to do is my base. So I'm going to go in with my foundation, concealer, powder, and bronzer, and then we'll do the eye look and then finish the rest of the look after that. So for my foundation, I'm going to be using the one that is in my project pan. It's been in all of my videos so far. It's the Fenty Beauty foundation stick in the color Bamboo. So I'm just going to kind of draw this all over my face. As I said in my last video, my project pan update, which I'll link below, the foundation is a little stiffer than maybe I thought it was gonna be. I had used up the Hourglass stick foundation, which was a lot like softer and emollient, so I feel like I went through it a lot faster. This is a little, yeah, stiffer. So it's gonna take me a little while to get through it, but it's a good color match for me and I'm enjoying it so far. So I've just kind of dotted that all over. And then what I've been using lately, or what I've been doing lately, in a way to kind of use up some of my small sample things that I've gotten in Sephora orders, and also just to help make this a little easier to blend out, I'm going to add just a really tiny dot of another foundation, a liquid foundation. This is the YSL Bare Tint one in, I believe, number 2. So I'm going to be using a Morphe M444 brush. So I'm just going to put like the tiniest little dot of this and kind of just dot that on top of what's already on my face, and then just start blending. So like I said in the intro, I'm getting ready for a little anniversary date night tonight. My husband and I were going out to dinner for a nice little quiet dinner at a local restaurant, so it should be nice. But it's still a good excuse to get a little glammed up for the occasion. So I've kind of buffed that in. I would say in general, the stick foundation is kind of like a light to medium coverage. You can build it up. I usually just kind of do the one layer like I just did because I still want a more natural look and I don't feel like I have too much that I need or want to cover up. So that is the foundation base. So I think it's a fairly good match for me right now as we're transitioning from summer into fall and my tan is kind of going away. But now I'm gonna do some concealer, and I'm using 2 concealers that I chose in my Shop My Stash, which I'll also link here. The first one is the Tarte of the Sea Power Flex Concealer in the shade Medium Neutral. This is the mini size, again, shocker. So I'm just gonna use this on the parts of my face where I either want to brighten or I want to conceal any redness. And then the other concealer I'm using is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser. I just use that under my eyes. This is such an oldie but a goodie. I always go back to it, even if I kind of take a break for a while. I just always sometimes feel the urge to go back to it because it just always works so great under the eyes. But speaking of empties, as I'm kind of working through some of my makeup products, What I have been doing is for the entire year so far, I have saved every makeup or beauty product empty that I've done this year, and I think what I'm gonna do is do one big end of year empty video. So comment below if that would be something that you're interested in. It's just gonna be a combination of makeup items, beauty items, skincare, maybe some hair care. I don't always share my hair care or save my hair care products unless it's something I feel like needs some type of review or like blew my mind or was like so awful. In general, like just using generic shampoos and stuff like that, I don't keep those as empties. But I'm pretty proud of myself so far. I've been keeping track every quarter of how much I've used up and what the monetary value of the items are that I used up. It might not necessarily be what I actually paid for them, because a lot of things I do buy on sale or with coupons or like on deals, but just to kind of know the possible monetary value of what I have used up in a year, I think would be really interesting to see as one big collective. I'm just gonna put a little bit more concealer on my forehead, kind of cover a little bit more up there. So the next thing I'm gonna do before I do powder, I'm actually going to do a little bit of contouring, so that way I can kind of blend it out and then do powder over to kind of soften it. So this was also from my Shop My Stash this month. It's the Heart of the Sea cream bronzer in Seychelles. The mini size. This is like the theme of the video. Everything I have is mini size. So this is just a nice cream bronzer, and I'm just gonna use a little, like, I don't know what this is, kind of like a pencil brush. I'm definitely not an expert at this, so I might speed through this part, but I'm just kind of testing it out and trying to get better at it, so we'll see how it ends up looking. Okay, so I know that looks kind of crazy now, but that's kind of what I've been experimenting with, and now I'm just going to blend it out with another small, like, concealer brush. Okay. So that's blended enough for me. So now I'm just going to set my whole face with powder. And to do that, I'm using the LYS powder in the translucent shade. I've been really liking this. I'm just gonna use a little powder brush for that. Just kind of lightly powder and set the cream and liquid products into place. And this should kind of help soften out the contour that I did on my nose. But like I said, I'm definitely not an expert. That's an area I would like to learn more about. So if you have any suggestions or videos or people that would be good resources for learning about contouring a little more and getting more comfortable with it, please let me know. I would love to know your tips and tricks. Okay. So that's that. So now I'm just gonna do some bronzer. And again, I'm going to be using my Project Pan bronzer, which I feel like I'm definitely seeing progress on. So this is kind of a little sneak peek before my next update. It's the Essence Sun Club Matte Bronzer. My packaging is falling apart, but that's where we're at. So definitely some pan showing up on the edges now, but I can still get my brush in it pretty easily. So that's what we're gonna do. I think this bronzer is particularly good because of the shade. So I feel like it's not too orange, it's not too brown. And so I feel like it's really easy to build up, but also not mess up. So I think this could be a really good bronzer if you do your makeup like on the go a lot, or just need to do it quickly, or if you're a beginner. So I do like to build it up quite a bit, as you can see, but I will blend it out in a minute, and then eventually there will be some blush that goes along with it that will kind of help even it all out. But it just kind of warms up the face, brings some color back. So now I'm just gonna kind of blend it a little bit. Like I said, we'll go back later and add blush and stuff, but just so I don't look crazy for the rest of the video. We'll kind of blend it out a little bit. Okay, it's not perfect, but that's better. So now we're gonna move on to the eyes, which is gonna be pretty fun. So I'm going to be using the Sigma Enchanted palette. This was also what I chose in my Shop My Stash for the month, but I also just think the colors are so pretty and will be really fun for a date night look. The first thing I'm gonna do is grab a Sigma E40 brush and take the shade Innocent and put that all in my crease. Okay, so as you can see, it's a pretty subtle crease shade, which I think is really good. It's gonna be good for blending later on. Do a little bit more. Okay, so now I think the next color I'm going to take is going to be this Terra shade, kind of a brown orangey tone, and I'm just going to start by putting this in the outer corner of the eye. Oh, and this is a Sigma E24. Okay, so you can see that color, that's really nice. That's a good pigment payoff. Okay, so now I'm just going to blend a little bit with the E40 clean. I didn't pick up any more product on there, just kind of blending the crease a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to go in with this Budding shade and put that over the rest of my lid, and I think I'm just going to use my finger. So we'll see how that goes. So I picked up some of Budding on my ring finger, and I'm just gonna pat that on the rest of my eyelid. It comes off like very reflective and like almost, I don't know if it's gonna show up on camera, but in person it kind of almost looks a little wet because of the shine that it gives off, which I think is really pretty. So I'm putting it all over my lid, not quite going full to the inner corner. So that's looking pretty good. So now I am gonna go back in with Innocent and kind of blend a little bit more, because I feel like some of that definition of like difference of color got lost a little bit. So now what I think I'm gonna do is take my inner corner highlight brush. I think I'm gonna try this Moon Glade shade. Even though it's more purple and the look I have is a little more pink, I think it might be a good inner corner highlight. Just kind of something a little unexpected, but not too crazy. So let's see how that looks. Yeah, I feel like because of the rest of the look being so pink, it's not really pulling super purple. It's kind of just looking like an inner corner highlight, which is what I was going for. So now for liner, instead of using a liquid liner, I think I'm gonna go in with a liner brush. This is the E06, and I'm going to take the Claystone color, and I'm just gonna do liner across my lid and a tiny wing. I'm not very good at doing wing liner yet, so I'll probably speed through this section as well. One tip that I do have is when it comes to liner, liquid or powder, I always start in the middle of my eye and work my way out and then fill in the rest. I find that that just gives me a little less room for error of having a super jagged line. And especially with powder, it's a little more forgiving than a liquid liner. Okay, so that's the liner done on both eyes. It's pretty subtle, but that's what I wanted. Now I'm going to do a little bit on my lower lash line, not too much. I think what I'm gonna do first though is I did have a tiny bit of fallout from that liner. So I'm just gonna take my magic eraser and just kind of dot my concealer brush on it lightly to just pick up a little bit of concealer and then kind of just clean up a little bit. Okay, that looks better. So now I'm going to go back in with a little pencil brush and I'm going to take the budding shade that we used all over the lid, and I'm going to put that on the inner half of my eye, of the lower lash line of my eye. Okay, and I'm going to take the Terra shade that we used in the outer corner and do the outer half of my eye. It just adds a little bit more definition, a little bit of a smokiness without going over the top. But that is the eye look complete at that point. So now we're going to do some mascara and brows, and then we will finish with blush and lips. For mascara, where is it? I am going to be using the Pacifica Vegan Collagen Fluffy Mascara. I picked this up on Kelly Gooch's recommendation, and I have to say it is fantastic. I really love it. It does like separate and builds volume, and it's been working really well for me so far. So I'm just gonna curl my lashes and put the mascara on, and then I'll be back to do my brows. So as you can see, that's with the mascara, that's without. Like, it makes such a huge difference and really lifts and lengthens the lashes and adds more volume. It really does everything. Okay, so that's the mascara done. So now I'm just gonna do my brows, and I'm gonna keep it pretty simple and just use the e.l.f. Brow Wow in the whatever shade this is, taupe or blonde. This is also a really good brow product for beginners or if you just have a short time to do your makeup, because it's just a quick application and it's kind of got like the fibers and stuff on the little spoolie, so it kind of will fill in as well as set them in place. This is another product that I always go back to. Even if I stop using it for a while to try something else, eventually I'm always like, I just want that again because it was easy, it worked, and honestly, sometimes having blonde brows makes it more difficult to find a brow product that is the correct color for me. I find that a lot of brow products are darker than I like or need, so I've always liked that this one comes in a taupe blonde color that is a good match for me, and it's like $5. Okay, so that's my brows, just quick and easy. Again, I'm also not really an expert at brows, but I think it looks pretty good for putting in very little effort. So now I think we're going to choose some blush, and for that I'm going to be using my Makeup Revolution blush kit in Sugar and Spice. So that's what it looks like. And I think since my eyes are so pink and the shirt I'm wearing that I'm going to wear tonight is this like orangey, more like fall shade, I'm going to go, I think I'm gonna go with this blush right here. None of them have names. So it's just this like more, I don't know what color that is. Grapefruity or something. It's like it's not straight up pink. It's like almost more like a brown pink, a peach pink. But I'm gonna use that for my cheeks to see how this looks. I think that looks good, nice and flush. So I'm just going to lightly blend that with the bronzer that we put on earlier. So now before we do lips, I'm going to set my makeup with a setting spray, and right now I'm using the Makeup Revolution Fix and Glow. This I bought because Sarah Rose Beauty recommended it, and I have to say I really like it so far. So that will just set my makeup in place, and it does have a slightly dewy finish, which is what I want today. So for my lip combo, I'm just gonna do what I've been doing all month pretty much. Just use my Project Pan items and Shop My Stash items. So it's the e.l.f. lip liner in Dusty Rose. So I'm just going to do what I did in my last video, line my lips and fill in the corners. So now I'm going to use the Bite lipstick in Kava on the center part of my lips. This is also from my Shop My Stash, and it's just a nice like beigey nude. And then to add a little bit of extra shine, I'm going to go in with the Bite Gloss in Sugar Drizzle. All right, so this is the final look for my anniversary date night. I hope you all enjoyed, and it was fun to use the Enchanted palette for an entire look. I haven't really done that yet. I've been mixing it with other palettes, but I think this look turned out so pretty and a little bit of like a more subtle glam that's perfect for a date night or anniversary dinner. I had so much fun creating this look. Comment below with what your favorite go-to eyeshadow palettes are for date night or glamming it up, and I will see you all in my next video.